There's something undeniably charming about the sight of a cat settling down and beginning to press its paws rhythmically against a soft surface, whether it's a cozy blanket, a warm human lap, or even a favorite pillow. This familiar motion, often referred to as making biscuits, is a behavior that cat lovers have watched and adored for generations. But beneath this simple, repetitive action lies a fascinating blend of instinct, memory, and communication that reveals just how complex and meaningful this gesture truly is. At first glance, it might seem like a cat is just softly pawing away at something for no real reason, but in reality, making biscuits is far from a random habit. It's a behavior deeply rooted in a cat's earliest experiences and carries with it layers of emotional and social significance. When a cat rhythmically presses its paws, it's engaging in something that connects it to its past, its environment, and even the humans in its life. This action isn't just about comfort or passing time, it's a form of communication, a way to mark territory without words, and an expression of trust and bonding. The softness of the surface, the repetitive motion, and the focused attention all come together in a ritual that's both soothing and meaningful. But where does this behavior come from? What sparks this instinct to knead, and why do cats seem so compelled to do it? To understand why cats make biscuits, we need to journey back to their earliest days, the tender moments of kittenhood when they are learning about the world and forming bonds that will last a lifetime. It's here, in those first experiences, that the roots of kneading begin to take hold, linking instinct with comfort in ways that continue to resonate throughout a cat's life. From the very first moments of life, kneading is a behavior deeply woven into a cat's earliest experiences. Newborn kittens instinctively press their tiny paws rhythmically against their mother's belly, right around her mammary glands. This gentle, repetitive motion isn't just a random reflex, it plays a crucial role in stimulating the flow of milk, ensuring that the kitten receives the nourishment it needs to grow strong and healthy. The pressure encourages the mother's body to release milk, making those little paws an essential tool for survival. But kneading goes beyond mere function. For the kitten, this action is wrapped in layers of comfort and safety. The warmth of the mother's body, the familiar scent that signals home, and the close physical contact all combine to create a secure environment. Nestled against her, the kitten feels protected from the outside world, soothed by the steady heartbeat and the gentle rise and fall of breathing. In this intimate setting, the rhythmic motion of kneading becomes more than a feeding mechanism, it becomes a symbol of care, warmth, and belonging. Feline behavior specialists and researchers often point to this early experience when exploring why adult cats continue to knead. While it's unlikely that grown cats consciously recall those nursing moments, the connection is believed to be deeply ingrained in their instincts. Kneading in adulthood is thought to echo those feelings of comfort and security first encountered during kittenhood. It's a behavior that taps into a well of early positive associations, a way for cats to soothe themselves or express contentment by recreating the sensations they once knew so intimately. This tender act serves as a bridge between past and present, weaving together instinct, memory, and emotion in a simple, rhythmic motion. Even as cats grow into adulthood, the act of kneading, or making biscuits, remains a deeply ingrained part of their behavior. While it may have begun as a survival instinct during nursing, when kittens knead their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow, adult cats continue this motion for reasons that reach far beyond infancy. Kneading serves as a form of self-soothing, much like how humans might fidget with their hands or hug a favorite blanket. The rhythmic pressing of their paws releases endorphins, helping cats to relax and feel safe in their environment. This behavior is also closely tied to emotional regulation. Cats often knead when they're content, happy, or settling down to rest. It's their way of creating a comforting space around themselves, a tactile expression of calm and security. For many cats, kneading is a habitual action, a deeply rooted instinct passed down through generations. Even when no obvious stimulus is present, the motion itself can bring a sense of peace, almost like a meditative practice. There's a common misconception that frequent kneading means a cat was separated from its mother too early, but this isn't necessarily true. While early weaning can influence some behaviors, many adult cats who received normal care and socialization also knead regularly. In fact, the frequency and intensity of kneading can vary widely from cat to cat, influenced by personality, environment, and individual preferences. Some cats may knead constantly, especially when they're feeling particularly comfortable or affectionate, while others might rarely knead or skip it altogether. Both ends of the spectrum are perfectly normal. Ultimately, kneading is a beautiful example of how instinct and emotion intertwine in feline behavior. It's a subtle but powerful way cats connect with their past, manage their feelings, and express their contentment in the present moment. When cats knead, it's common to see a collection of other behaviors appear alongside those rhythmic paw presses. You might notice that your feline friend is purring softly, eyes half closed in a state that almost looks like a gentle trance. Sometimes, they begin to drool or suck on a blanket or piece of fabric, and their entire body seems unusually relaxed, almost as if they're melting into the moment. These behaviors often go hand in hand because they're all tied to deep relaxation and comfort. Purring, for instance, is one of the most familiar sounds cats make, and it's often associated with contentment and pleasure. But it's important to recognize that purring isn't a one-size-fits-all signal. Cats purr for many reasons, from feeling relaxed and happy to coping with stress or even pain. While some people love to think of purring as a kind of built-in healing mechanism, the truth is more complex. It's not a straightforward sign that a cat is healing itself or anyone else. Instead, purring can be a way for cats to soothe themselves or communicate a range of emotions, making it crucial to look at everything else they're doing in combination. The half-closed eyes that often accompany kneading are another clue to a cat's relaxed state. When a cat narrows their gaze like this, it's a sign they feel safe and comfortable in their environment. Drooling and fabric sucking, meanwhile, harken back to kittenhood, when nursing from their mother brought comfort and security. These behaviors can linger into adulthood, especially when a cat experiences moments of calm or joy. Ultimately, interpreting these behaviors requires paying close attention to the full context, the cat's body language, the environment, and the situation. It's in this combination that the true meaning emerges, revealing just how deeply comforting kneading and its accompanying behaviors can be for our feline companions. Cats have a fascinating way of leaving their mark on the world, and it's not just through their visible presence. Around their paw pads, cats carry special scent glands that release subtle chemical signals. When a cat kneads, those gentle presses and pushes are more than a cute habit, they're a way of sharing their unique scent with the space around them. This isn't about staking a claim like a territorial battle, but more about familiarizing their environment with the comforting presence of their own identity. Think of it like a soft signature, quietly communicating, "This place feels safe to me." Cats rely heavily on scent to understand the world, creating a map of familiarity that helps reduce stress and uncertainty. By transferring their scent onto favorite objects, be it a cozy bed, a well-worn blanket, or the corner of a beloved sofa, they weave themselves into the fabric of that space. This chemical familiarity transforms these spots into personal sanctuaries where they can relax without worry. This behavior goes beyond mere ownership, it's about making the environment predictable and reassuring. When a cat kneads repeatedly on a particular surface, it's reinforcing a sense of belonging and calm. The scent left behind blends with the natural aromas of the space, creating a unique sensory signature that the cat can recognize even when they return after time away. It's like a familiar friend's scent that brings comfort and signals a safe haven. So, the next time you see a cat rhythmically pushing their paws into a blanket or couch cushion, know that they're not just indulging in a soothing motion. They're quietly weaving their scent into their surroundings, crafting a personal, sensory map that helps them feel secure and at ease in their little corner of the world. When a cat presses their paws rhythmically into your lap or chest, it's hard not to melt at the tenderness of the moment. But why do cats choose us as the focus of this kneading behavior? At its core, kneading on a person is a powerful expression of trust and connection. Cats often seek out areas on your body that are warm, soft, and familiar, your lap, your stomach, or even your arm, because these spots mimic the comforting textures and feelings they experienced as kittens with their mother. Your scent becomes a beacon of safety, reinforcing their sense of calm and security. Kneading is a way cats bond with their humans. When they press in with their paws, they're not just making biscuits, they're marking you with the scent glands in their paws, subtly claiming you as part of their social group. This physical connection deepens the bond between cat and human, signaling affection and a desire to be close. It's a gesture that says, "I feel safe with you," and it often comes paired with purring, gentle nuzzles, or slow blinking, which all together form a language of love and comfort. However, it's important to remember that kneading doesn't always mean your cat is in a cuddly mood. Like any behavior, it should be read in context. If your cat is kneading while their ears are back or their tail is twitching, they might be overstimulated or even annoyed. Conversely, when their body is relaxed, eyes half closed, and their breathing steady, kneading is more likely a genuine sign of contentment and trust. For example, a cat might jump into your lap after a long day, kneading softly as they settle down for a nap, drawn by your warmth and the familiar rhythm of your heartbeat. Another might knead your arm while you pet them, mixing affection with a bit of their instinctual comfort-seeking. In these moments, kneading becomes a shared ritual, a quiet conversation where your cat says, "You're my safe place." When cats knead, you might notice their claws extending and retracting rhythmically with each push. This movement is a natural part of the kneading process, rooted deeply in their instincts. Those tiny claws help cats grip surfaces as they press their paws in and out, much like when they knead their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow as kittens. It's not a deliberate attempt to scratch or hurt you, even if it feels a little prickly at times. Instead, it's just how their paws move during this comforting behavior. That said, it's understandable that sometimes those little claws can cause discomfort, especially when a cat chooses your lap or chest as their kneading spot. To keep things cozy for both you and your feline friend, a few simple steps can make all the difference. Placing a thick blanket or cushion between you and your cat can create a soft barrier that protects your skin without interrupting their ritual. Regularly trimming your cat's nails is also a great way to minimize any accidental scratches. If your cat seems particularly enthusiastic with their claws, gently redirecting them to a plush toy or dedicated soft surface can help satisfy their need to knead while keeping you comfortable. Importantly, never punish or frighten your cat for kneading behavior. Forcibly pushing them away or reacting with anger risks damaging the trust and bond you share. Cats knead because they feel safe and content in your presence, and responding kindly reinforces that connection. By understanding and accommodating this tender habit, you nurture a relationship built on mutual comfort and affection, one soft paw press at a time. Another way to understand kneading is through the lens of evolution and practical survival behaviors that wild feline ancestors might have relied on. Some experts suggest that when cats press their paws rhythmically into soft surfaces, they may be instinctively preparing a comfortable, secure spot to rest. Imagine a wild cat stepping into a patch of grass or leaves. By pressing down and patting the area, the cat might be flattening the vegetation, making it more inviting and easier to settle into. This softening of the resting place could provide a sense of safety, cushioning, and warmth, all important factors for an animal vulnerable while sleeping. Though we can't say for certain, this behavior could be an inherited trait carried over from those early days when survival depended on finding or creating the best possible resting spot. Kneading might also serve as a way for cats to stretch their muscles, particularly those in their paws, legs, and shoulders. Stretching helps keep muscles supple and ready for sudden movements, which is vital for a predator or an animal that needs to stay alert to potential dangers. In addition, kneading may allow cats to gauge the texture and stability of where they plan to rest. By pressing their paws into the surface, they can assess whether it's soft enough or safe enough to lie down on, much like a human might pat a pillow or smooth a blanket before settling in. This tactile exploration seems like a practical way to ensure comfort and security. Once satisfied, the cat's kneading transitions into a calming ritual that helps them relax and settle into a cozy position. It's a quiet, methodical way of preparing both their bodies and their minds for rest. While we may not have definitive answers, these evolutionary and practical theories offer a fascinating glimpse into why cats might make biscuits, blending instinct, comfort, and survival in this charming behavior. Kneading is a perfectly normal and often endearing behavior in cats. Most of the time, it's a gentle, rhythmic motion that reflects comfort and contentment. It's the kind of action you might see when a cat settles in your lap, slowly pressing their paws into a blanket or your clothing, their eyes half closed in bliss. This behavior is typically nothing to worry about, it's just your cat expressing their happiness and feeling secure in their environment. However, like many behaviors, kneading can sometimes change in ways that might signal something more than just relaxation. If you notice your cat suddenly starts kneading much more frequently or vigorously than usual, or if they begin to chew on fabrics obsessively during kneading sessions, it could be a sign to pay closer attention. In particular, if the fabric chewing becomes destructive or your cat begins to swallow pieces of material, it's a good idea to consider consulting a professional. Additionally, if kneading leads to skin irritation or damage, that's another clue that your cat might be experiencing some discomfort or anxiety. It's also important to watch for other changes that might accompany unusual kneading. Signs like increased hiding, changes in appetite, unusual vocalizations, or seeming distress can be indicators that something is off. If your cat is suddenly more withdrawn or appears to be in pain while kneading, these are moments when reaching out to a veterinarian or a feline behavior specialist can help rule out any underlying issues. Remember, the kneading itself is usually harmless and a natural expression of your cat's feelings. But when it's paired with noticeable changes in behavior or physical signs of trouble, it's worth seeking advice to ensure your feline friend stays happy and healthy. There are a few persistent myths about why cats knead that are worth clearing up. For one, kneading isn't something only female cats do. Male cats, regardless of breed, exhibit this behavior just as often. It's not tied to any specific breed either, whether you have a Maine Coon, a Siamese, or a domestic Shorthair, kneading is part of their shared feline language. Another common misconception is that kneading is always a sign of early separation from their mother. While kittenhood experiences do influence a cat's behavior, not every kneader suffered a rough start. And importantly, kneading isn't usually a sign of aggression. When cats knead, it's far more often a peaceful, self-soothing action than anything hostile. At its heart, kneading is a beautiful blend of instinct and comfort. It's a behavior rooted in their earliest days, when pressing against their mother's belly helped stimulate milk flow and build a sense of security. This action carries through adulthood as a way cats mark their territory with scent glands in their paws, create a soft resting spot, and connect emotionally with their favorite humans or feline companions. Kneading is an elegant dance of scent, habit, and social bonding, a quiet ritual through which cats carve out their safe space in the world. For cat owners, the best way to honor this behavior is simply to observe the context. Notice when your cat kneads, whether it's during relaxation, before a nap, or as a greeting. Providing a soft surface like a blanket or pillow invites this behavior in a way that's comfortable for both of you. And while those little claws can sometimes be sharp, protect yourself gently, never punish your cat for kneading. Instead, trim their nails or redirect the behavior to a plush bed. Kneading is one of the subtle ways cats communicate trust and safety, a tender expression of their emotional world. When you embrace it, you're sharing in a quiet, timeless bond that speaks volumes without a single word.